So, what instructional support materials will be the teacher use according to the learning style and the outcomes to be achieved? Here's Here's are some guidelines. Number 1. Use of direct purposeful experience through learning by doing retains almost of all the learning outcomes. 90% of the learning is retained. For example, our field trip, field study, community immersion, practice teaching. 2. Participation in class activities, discussion, reporting, and similar activities where learners have the opportunity to say and write. 70% of learning is remembered. Example are small group discussion, bus session, individual reporting, role play, and panel. 3. Passive participation as in watching a movie, viewing exhibit, watching demonstration will retain around 50% of what have been communicated. 4. By just looking at still pictures, paintings, illustration, and drawings will allow the retention of around 30% of the material content. 5. By hearing as in lecture, sermon, monologues, only 20% is remembered. 6. Reading will assure 10% remembering of the material. Regardless of the amount of remembering from the concrete to abstract, each layer contributes to learning and requires instruction to support materials. Visual, concrete, flat, three-dimensional reals, models, etc., or abstract verbal symbols, words. Audio, recordings of sound, natural or artificial. Audiovisual, combination of what can be seen and heard. Kinesthetic, manipulative materials like modeling clay, rings, dumbbells, equipment, and others. Experimental, utilize all modalities, using methods and materials to implement the plan, taking action. Example number 1. Lesson using basic step and parts as prescribed by the Debit Order 70 Series 2012 for teachers 2 years and less in service. Finding out what has been achieved. Assessing achievement outcomes. At the end of the activity, the teacher will find out if the intended learning outcomes ILO have been converted into achieved learning outcomes ALO. Tests and other tools are utilized at the end of the lesson to identify this. What knowledge, process, understanding, and performance KPUP are demonstrated by the learners. The rule of the thumb is what has been taught should be measured to find out if the intended outcome set at the beginning has been achieved. More detailed discussion will be found in the module on evaluation of the curriculum. So, what is your style? Number 1. Study the learning style choice board and check as many as you feel you want to done more often. 2. If you have more choices, then you have a multiple learning style individual. In visual, we have create visual diagram. Second is graph result of a survey. Third is create a comic strip. Fourth is create a poster. Fifth is draw a map. 6 is create a PowerPoint, and 7 is create a webcast or video. In musical auditory is first write a song or rap. Second is create a dance. Third is write a jingle, and fourth is create a rhyme. And fifth is use an instrument. For verbal is teach concept, write instruction, create ads, write a poem, keep a journal, retell in your own words, teach concept mapping, write a story. In physical kinesthetic, create a game, do an experiment, construct a model, build a representation, create a sport. And learning style choice board, we all learn in the different ways. Pick your way to discover. Think, create, and learn concept in all areas, math, reading, science, history, writing, and etc. Logical mathematical. Create a code, make a timeline, compare contrast ideas, create an outline, design a map, show a pattern, teach concept mapping. Social. Tell stories or poems, survey others, interview someone, teach a cooperative game, role play, hold a discussion. Solitary. Research an area, keep a journal, write about personal experience, think about and plan, create a PowerPoint, read a book on. Naturalist. Collect and categorize data, material, or ideas. Discover or experiment. Take a field trip, adapt materials, label, and classify. That's all.